Good morning, everyone. Good afternoon, good evening. How are you doing? This is Amanda Ellis, and a very warm welcome to my channel. Well, I didn't expect to be back quite so quickly, particularly talking about energies that I've already referenced, really, with regards to the July video that I put up a few days ago. But it feels as though we need to get a bit more into the specifics of it all. And July definitely feels as though it is a pretty tumultuous month. And I'm going to be focusing on three particular countries' energies and pulling some cards and bringing my own guidance through, asking Spirit to be with us. But these probably are going to be universal messages for any country, wherever you are viewing this. If you are going through a period of accelerated change, which is happening across the globe at the moment, I'm really just focusing on UK and France and USA because of the elections that are coming up in these three countries. USA, I realise we've got a bit more time to play with. It's not until November, but there are definitely changes in store, particularly for the Democratic Party, which I would like to pull some cards on with regards to Biden's viability going forward. Will he even be the candidate? And if he's not the candidate, I'd like to just throw some very introductory cards with regards to maybe some of the main names that are coming up. That's going to be in the third part of this video. I will timestamp it if that's all you're interested in. But equally, do try and watch the beginning bit because I think you'll find it interesting as well if you are, for example, in USA. So UK, we have a general election tomorrow. France is in the middle of elections. They've had the first round. There's a second round coming up quite soon. So we'll look at France secondary. And actually, there's an amazing story that I want to talk about, which is symbolic, definitely. But there is a sword that has vanished from a rock at Rocamadour. Pretty much overnight. It's been there for the past 1,300 years. It's called the French Excalibur, and I'll talk about that when we get to the French bit, but that feels symbolic as well. If you've watched me before, you know that I'm very into the whole Camelot energy, King Arthur, Knights of the Round Table. The removal of the sword is only supposed to be done by Arthur. Yes, of course, I understand this sword has probably been taken by a thief, but even that is teaching because I'm very much wanting to write a book and I'm in the middle of doing an oracle deck, or not in the middle of it. It's just I've got this huge download of information is coming in all of a sudden with regard to this Arthurian work that I'm meant to be doing. And it will include shadow archetypes as well as positive archetypes. So the energy of theft, thieving our way to the top will also be something we need to be looking at with regards to the whole Camelot energy. And these times are very much tied into theft and envy and the shadow archetypes, which are very much in our face at the moment, as well as the beautiful divine blueprint that we want to be expanding and growing. But anyway, more on that French Excalibur thing in the second part of this video. I'd like to start with UK just because of the time sensitivity. And yeah, just to give a time check, it's about 11 a.m. in the morning on the 3rd of July. We are anticipated to be going into the election tomorrow pretty much with the Conservatives, who are the current ruling party and have ruled for the last 14 years here, pretty much having thrown in the towel. The opinion polls are predicting a landslide to the left, and that will be the Labour Party led by Keir Starmer, with also a surge of support for reform led by Nigel Farage. But as I explained in a previous video when I looked at the UK election, Farage at the moment hasn't got enough people standing in seats, and the way that our election is done in terms of boundaries and it's just not possible for him to form the government, I don't believe. I mean, I might be wrong. We'll pull some cards on it. But it's more than likely it's going to be Keir Starmer as Prime Minister. And the fear for some, myself included, I have to say is that will there be any type of opposition? Because I personally believe whatever country you are in, it's important that we have a viable opposition, whoever is in power, to hold a government to account. It has to be said that Labour, and I am just going to go for it in this video, okay? I'm just going to go for it. My view is that Labour, the party that are about to take power, did not give a particularly good opposition. For example, through the pandemic years, didn't challenge the government on things that, for example, were done that I disagreed with at that time, seemed to just roll over and let them do whatever they wanted to. So, I'm not saying we're going from having a great opposition now, but it's just with the winds of change coming in, my hope for any country, including my own, is that whoever comes into power, there is a strong opposition to balance out the excesses and the worst of whoever is in power. Because if you have a landslide majority, you have a lot of power, and power can be very corrupting in the wrong hands. Best of people can be corrupted by not being challenged, basically. So those are my thoughts with regard to that. I would like to read on the UK now, and I did put up a sort of jokey, but not really jokey, picture last night on Facebook and Instagram of the brace position. In an aeroplane when, God forbid, there's going to be a crash, and you are advised to go into the brace position. And indeed, every flight shows you how to get into the brace position in the event of a crash landing. And that's what I was being shown by Spirit, which isn't a judgment on the party that is coming into power. It's more to do with the fact that if you are in a country which has been led by a particular party of either side for a substantial period of time, and 14 years is a long period of time, there's a few energies that arise. Number one, there's an energy sometimes of the better the devil you know. So it's sort of like, we're wanting change, but do we actually know what the change is we're going to be getting? Do we actually understand what that change is and how that will actually manifest? Unless you are very skilled in politics and have actually read all of the manifestos of every political party, the answer is probably we're going into all of it a bit blind. We might have an opinion in terms of who we want to vote for because we've heard of a few things that we agree with regards to a particular party. But you never quite know what you get until the government has actually landed, found its feet, and then started on its road. Now, I said for South Africa, when I read on South Africa, that I do feel as though we should try to get behind a new government, because I remember saying that if we don't do that, it's as though we're shooting ourselves in the foot. Because if a cycle is completing and a new cycle is about to begin, even if it's one that we're maybe a little bit distrustful of, or we don't understand, or we don't like, we still have to try to get behind it because we want it to do better than we think it's going to. Now, of course, there will be other people that are cheering from the rafters and are, roaring them on, as it were. But I'm also wanting to speak up for the people that are having a bit of a wobble today. And I don't think I am the only one. I've just actually spoken to somebody else in my personal life, and they brought it up straight away. And it was like, and I said to them, I said, well, let's reconvene on Friday and we'll see how the land lies, shall we? But back to this energy of brace position. Why, if you're in an airline, let's take that analogy, why are you asked to put yourself into a brace position? It's actually to do, obviously, with survival and trying to survive the impact of something. Now, the impact for our world at the moment, whether you're in UK, France, USA, Canada, wherever, is change is here. We might not understand the change, we might not like the change, we might be fearful of the change, we might be applauding the change. But change by nature causes a lot of ripples, it causes a lot of, it ruffles a lot of feathers. And remember, our body, our physical body, is often the last place to fully be able to understand anything that is new. Our mind might be able to comprehend that, so let me just turn my phone off. Our mind might be able to comprehend that, for example, this is about to happen in my country or your country, but it's the body can still have a little bit of a, is this safe? Is this safe? So be very aware and very mindful of your body right now, and try to look after it, basically. Try to tend to it, just to look after it as much as you can. So, just the obvious things: sleep, diet, not overdoing anything, reducing toxicity, addictions, that type of thing. Look after yourself right now, because the body, put it this way, the shock waves that come from big unexpected winds or just change itself reverberate, not just through the earth, but through our bodies. Even if think about this in this way, say you get a really positive piece of news, you can actually have, if your nervous system is quite primed and not balanced, you will have like the jitters, you will feel sort of like on edge with excitement, but also the same bodily response can be through fear of the unknown. So we just have to calm our whole nervous system down and our body down. And if I've turned off comments on this video, it will be because of that, because I feel very strongly at the moment that we can only really work on our own response to things that are going on in the world. And everybody else having their say can be detrimental sometimes, because if you're trying to get yourself back into a place of equilibrium and balance, it's easier when you haven't got a lot of distraction and a lot of noise. So there's going to be a lot of noise. Just having turned off my phone just now, I could see on Twitter all of the trending things in the UK, for example, on Twitter are, Tories out. It's all very confrontational, I suppose, in many ways. And so you're either on the side which is cheering that on in terms of, yes, let's get them out. And sometimes there can be quite a vengeful energy underneath that. Or, it's like a revenge type energy. We've had enough anger, all of that. It's, again, just think about your poor body that's feeling that energy from words, from other people's, from the collective. So we have to be very, very careful with that. So either way, whether you're cheering it on and like it's going to be great, or thinking, oh God, it's not going to be great, it's your body that has to process all of that feeling. So be very, very mindful of that. So that's why I think that Metatron is giving us the brace position. It's to do with, it doesn't mean that we've all got to sit like that tomorrow, but it is just saying, prepare for a bit of a crash landing into the new. Now, is the new always better? Not necessarily, no. I'm noticing in spiritual circles, it's almost like it seems to be a repeat of, 4 years ago, where there were certain people, not even going to say names here, that were being lauded as the saviour, the one that was coming to save us as a nation. And it feels as though that's doing the rounds again, which to me is an abdication of our own sovereignty, that we are the change. So I never put anybody up on a pedestal, whatever party they are. But there seems to be that doing the rounds again. And it's as though people are saying this is a grand awakening that is happening, whether it's across France, across the USA, across the UK, people are waking up. The question is, are they waking up, or are we actually just repeating cycles of the past? And I hate to be so cynical, but I'm just being, I think, a realist. I'm 56 years old. I've lived through quite a few governments now, and I've seen the cycles repeat, and I've seen the flip-flopping from right to left to right, and back again. And every 4 years, it's as though we've got the answer. Oh no, we've got the answer. And now it's being couched in terms of, oh no, this is a great awakening because I don't know why people are doing that. Because to me, some of this energy that's coming back around, and some of the parties that are coming back around and the ideologies, it feels very much as though it's coming back from the past, particularly when it links into intolerance, judgment, racism, fascism, communism. I mean, the only thing I think is new, unfortunately, is we've got a new gremlin in town, which is wokeism. Okay, maybe we haven't had to fight that before. So that's a new one. But I'm just going to be very real in this video. It's why I've come on, trying to centre myself, hopefully centre those of you that are resonating with what I'm saying. We're going to pull some cards now. So the other thing I've written down in my notes here is that people want change, but they don't actually know what that actually looks like. So somebody comes through onto the world stage, which is waving a flag, which is here I am, here is change. And it's as though people are voting for that without really understanding what that change means and very much how that is going to be delivered. How is it going to be different? How are you going to do that? How are you going to be better, etc.? It's as though we're wanting to bury our head in the sand and not look at the details. I mean, hats off to anybody that actually has read a manifesto. And I tell you what, if anybody watching me has read a manifesto of all leading parties, you get gold star. Because I have to be honest, have I? No, I haven't. But I'm aware of what I don't know, okay? I'm aware of what I don't know. And at least that is something, because there's a lot of people that seem to just be signing on the dotted line to change without even understanding that they don't know what is coming. And as I say, this isn't a left or right thing, because what seems to be happening, certainly across Europe, is, and maybe America as well, it is a swing to the right. UK, for whatever reason, we always have to be bloody different, don't we? And not that I'm for or against left or right, but we're going the other way. You know, we're going to be going back to the left. So, which the other countries are getting rid of and going to the right. So I don't know, maybe there's a bit of balance there. But I do know we need to keep our sense of humour, and I do know we need to keep listening to each other and talking. But I want to show you a card before I pull other cards, because I've never seen this one before. Now, I got this from the Wisdom of Avalon deck from Colette Baron Reid. And because of all this French Excalibur energy and this sword having gone missing, I thought, well, I'm going to have to pull a card just with regards to what is going on with the whole Arthurian energy at the moment, which is a global thing, not just UK. And this card came out and it says Goblin. It says the Goblin, and it's about the wounded human ego. Now, I'll read what it says about this. It says, now is the time for self-evaluation and taking inventory before you take another step. The goblin represents the wounded ego and its influence. Dark, repressed areas of the psyche get triggered, either in you or warning you of a dynamic between you and someone else. The goblin will disappear and lose power when you focus on love and fairness. So it's bringing up shadow energy, basically, this goblin. It's bringing up shadow energy. It's bringing up wounding. It's bringing up ego. All of those things aren't necessarily going to help lead us to New Earth. Now, I'm not saying I'm sitting here with all the answers. I'm not. I'm just presenting the energy in terms of where we're at the moment. And if we've got this energy sort of leading the show, it feels very much, I keep being shown the Pied Piper. And as I say, this isn't specific to any one country. It's as though with the world, I'm being shown the Pied Piper and people following the Pied Piper. But the question is, would you follow the Pied Piper off the cliff? Or will it get to a point where we think whether they're taking us left, whether they're taking us right, Actually, I'm not sure this actually resonates with me. I'm not sure this actually is the answer. I'm not sure that this response, this desire for them to be in control isn't coming from a place of wounding and ego. It's the opposite energy of the heart. And maybe we have to have this experience as a world right now so that we know what we don't want going forward, okay? And as I say, this is not a left or right issue. This is just about really where politics is at the moment. Because one unifying thing in most countries is that people are looking at the choice and they're thinking, I don't actually like either party. Or if you've got more than two parties, I don't like any of them. Interestingly, I did do a reading on UK, I don't know, about a month ago, and I said I was going to come back to it and I would read on Scotland, Wales, Northern Ireland. I haven't had a single request to do that. And I understand it. I don't think it's because you think I'm rubbish. I think it's because people are just like, oh, well, whatever. There is an apathy, and I totally understand it. But I have made a decision that I will vote in this election, more than anything just for the suffragettes and the fact that I think it's important to do so. One of you in Australia was saying, whether this is right or not, that in Australia, if you spoil your ballot, it's counted as a vote for the existing party. I mean, I can't believe that. That just feels so fascist, to be perfectly honest. It really does, because you're not even allowed the choice to spoil your ballot paper. Well, here you are. You can spoil your ballot. I have thought about doing that, but my view is that, I mean, it might be a little line at the end of an article where it might be reported that there were a certain number of ballots spoilt, but I don't think it will be. It'll just be who's won, who's lost. And the fact that you've spoilt your ballot will just be a little footnote in history that hasn't actually either got an opposition in power or a leading party in power. Those are my views. Of course, you can completely disagree with them, but that's where I'm at with it. So I am going to be voting at local level because it's just the best compromise that I can come up with for where we're at. But I personally feel it's important to vote. But yes, spoilt ballots at the moment in the UK you won't hear about it on the news very much. I mean, usually the percentage of people that vote in the UK is very low anyway. I mean, really low. I wonder what it was at the last election. I think it's something ridiculous, like 50%. Maybe it's a bit higher. It's certainly not 80, 90. Maybe we'll get a higher turnout, but I don't think we will. I think a lot of people are just not going to vote. Now, again, you might think, well, my no vote is saying something. Not to the powers that be at Westminster, it's not, because there's still going to be people sitting in those seats in the Houses of Parliament. So anyway, I'll get off my soapbox, but I personally think it is quite important to vote. Let's pull some cards with regards to UK. I'm going to keep this really open and just see what wants to come through. We're going to pull firstly from the, what is this card deck called? Wisdom of the Oracle. Let's go to the Wisdom of the Oracle and see. Let's have a card for UK, please. Let's have a card for the UK election, please. Let's have a card for the UK general election on the 4th. Right, we've got, I knew that card would be on the bottom of the deck. We've got the card of Thinker, and we've got All That Glitters Is Not Gold. It's sort of what I just said, which is that people are thinking about how to vote, who to vote for, what to do. Should I not vote? Should I spoil the ballot? Should I go for the lesser of two evils? There's maybe some people who think that the answer is in what they're voting. Fair enough. But a lot of people are just really don't know what to do. And this thing that all that glitters is not gold, this is what I'm really trying to say. It's like from left to right, from right to left. It's like all these promises that we're given in all countries that I am the answer. I am the answer. I am the saviour. I'm the one that's going to give you your country back. I'm the one that's going to do this. I'm going to do that. All that glitters is not gold. It's built on a pile of, I won't use the word, but the opposite of gold. Okay. I mean, even the angel here has got dejected angel wings. Her wings are flat. She's not flying, whether she's a fairy or if she's an angel. She's just sitting there looking a bit despondent. I'm going to try and rally us, guys, and get us to a more positive place. But equally, I have to also be real that this is how I'm feeling as well. Am I feeling flat and despondent and like, God, this, just get into brace position, Amanda? Yes, I am. I am. And that's not really about left or right. It's just, maybe it's also to do with this stark realization. It's like being at a crossroads and realizing that all of the existing paths, none of them look good. All of them seem to be leading to dead ends. What we need to be doing is forging a new path, And that for me is the unity path. And on that path, there are representatives of left, of right, of everybody, basically, of the whole political spectrum. And what I'm being shown by Metatron is that this path that needs to be forged, I'm seeing it lined with people, and these people are representatives of all of the political parties, and they're all working together. And now what they're doing is, in a wedding or in a Scottish dancing, you do this and then you go underneath the arch, and it's all very joyous and it's a celebration, but we're nowhere near that. And maybe here, and I'm just talking it through with you now, if you're still listening, this is also to do with timing. How I'm feeling today, there is just this energy of, even though I'm trying not to be like it, it's like impatience, because I want us to get there. I want us to get to unity quicker than we can. But we'll get there when we're meant to get there. And if we have to do another, God knows how many loops of the old political circus, and we keep propping up the dead bird, the left and right wings, both diseased, but we keep doing that, then it'll be a case of ever diminishing returns. Maybe some of us are just at the finish line waiting for other people to wake up to that. So, yeah, all that glitters is not gold. Okay. Let's have another card. You see, even this thinker card, it doesn't show different nationalities, but to me that row of flags could be the different colours of different political parties, different belief systems all coming together. How do we do this? I mean, I pulled these cards for the UK. Is that a sign that maybe, I can't believe that we're going to get a hung parliament, but, maybe it could be closer than we think. Unlikely as we stand today, but who knows? Right, let's pull a card here for Keir Starmer from this deck. So a card for Keir Starmer, and I'm going to put my violet pill hat on. Give him the respect he deserves. Many millions of people will be voting for this man. He probably is going to be the next Prime Minister of the UK. So Keir Starmer, what is there to say, please, Spirit? Right. Now, I have a feeling that Neptune is doing something at the moment, because this is very Neptunian. The card says to the sea. It shows somebody pretty forlorn, sitting in a bathtub, all at sea. Let me read what the hell that card is all about. Where's my booklet? What have I done with the booklet? Hold on. Where is it? Right beside me. Underneath my iPad, hold on. Here it is, Wisdom of the Oracle. Right, he's got card number 7, to the sea. It means Isn't it wonderful when you feel yourself in the flow of life, when events and conditions seem to engage you in a way that is fluid and effortless? This card reminds you that going with the flow is exactly what you need to do right now. Ride the wave of opportunity formed by perfect conditions. Allow trust and faith to guide you forward as you flow like a river into the sea of life. Everything seems to work out when you stop scrambling and allow the sea of opportunities to wash over you and wake you up to your most prosperous potential. To get into that flow, you need to address your beliefs about abundance and money. The true meaning of your personal currency lies in your skills, your talents, your abilities, and your core beliefs. Oh, I know what this is about. Okay, what this is basically saying is that one of the things that he's accused of is being a flip-flop. You know, it's like, who is he? What does he actually believe in? He changes his mind every 5 minutes. Who is the real Keir Starmer? So what this card is basically saying is that he'll be okay as long as he cements who he is, what he stands for, what he will put up with, what he will not put up with. He's going to have to take charge of the ship and not be victim to the elements that can make the boat lurch violently from side to side with regards to different requests. So, because, you know, even though the card is a positive one in terms of what the book's just said, this person sitting in this boat, it's actually a paper boat. Well, a paper boat eventually sinks, doesn't it? Unless it's been waterproofed. There is a set of binoculars here, but the person in the boat isn't even looking at the binoculars. There's a direction here, but they're not even looking at the direction they're going in. It's a bit drifting and a bit aimless, which isn't great to see. So let's pull a couple of tarot cards for him and see what else we get. He's a Libran, isn't he? I seem to remember. I think he's a Libran. Let's just have a look at him. Do you know what he looks like if you don't live in our country? If not, you soon will. Keir Starmer. He of the quiff. He has got good hair, actually. I'll give him that. He's got good hair. This is what he looks like. Hold on. He's quite young. Actually, I think... Oh, he's 61. Yeah, he's 61. Okay. Right. Anyway. Let's get a nicer picture of him. That's a nicer picture of him. I like this picture. Hold on. Yeah, that's very nice. That's nice. I like that. Okay, I'm going to wish you well, Keir. I'm going to let go of any preconceived fears. Right. This is what Metro wanted me to talk about. Right. So if you're as old and decrepit as me, no, I'm only joking. I'm still young. No, the point is, if you've lived through a few different governments, okay, let's get real. We hold within us the memory of previous failed governments. So the Labour Party, before Thatcher came into power, from my perspective, deserved to be booted out. We had strikes at an all-time high. Country wasn't in a great state. And so I have that memory within me. I'm a business owner myself. I'm quite nervous about the changes that might come in that will affect my business. As an example, I don't want to see lots of strikes, etc. I don't want us to go back to the bad old days. So what we have to do is we have to erase the memory of those bad old days. We have to give the party which is coming back into power, whether it's Labour, Conservative, give them whatever name it is in your own country, a chance to show what they can do. So I'm going to tune into this image of him and give him the benefit of the doubt. And actually, in this picture, he's looking quite, you know, pure in his white shirt. He's got the green shoots of recovery behind him. Let's hope he can deliver that, okay? I like that. I like that picture of him. I think that's why it is, though. It's because who is he? It's as though he hasn't really shown his human face. It's said that away from politics, he's supposed to be a really fun guy to be around, or just a really nice guy. I'm not saying he comes across as a horrible person, but it's just he's very stiff. He's very, it's like, just relax. And maybe he will relax once he's actually in power, to be fair, okay? Maybe he will relax and we'll start to see the real person. But again, the teaching from Metatron, and this isn't just about the Labour Party in the UK, it's the same for any party that's about to seize power again, who haven't been in power for a while, but you might have a memory of the fact that, oh God, it wasn't very great last time they were in power. You have to let that go. You have to give the new party a new chance because it's fresh people, it's fresh energy. It's not, he's not Michael Foot or whoever it was, for all those years ago. I realise some people watching this might love Michael Foot, but you get my point. I'm just trying to make some general points here for all countries. Right, let's pull a couple of cards for Keir Starmer then. Let's pull 3 cards for Keir Starmer the day after the general election. How is Keir Starmer doing? The Wheel of Fortune is destined. The wheel has turned. Destiny has knocked on his door. Oh God, why did I have to see that one? Come on, that's... Okay, well, we've got the 7 of Swords, which is the card of deception. Why have we got the 7 of Swords? The 6 of Cups, which is the past. There's something from his past that's coming back to haunt him. Ten of Pentacles. The happy family. I mean, that should be an example of him walking into number 10 with his family, his wife. Happy ever after, is destined. 6 of Cups. He would say trying to bring Britain back to what it should be. The best of the past and the best of the future. I don't understand the 7 of Swords. I hope that's not any electoral interference. Has to be said that it is being reported that a lot of people have not received their ballot, their postal ballot, which is an issue. We've got Justice. And 6 of Pentacles. No, this is and Judgment. No, this is something. I don't think it happens the day after he gets into power, but it's some decision he made in the past because he was the head of the CPS, the criminal prosecution system. He's heavily steeped in the law. We've got Judgment and Justice with the 6 of Pentacles, giving and receiving. I hope this is wrong. This would not be a good start. Bribery, corruption. It is said he either let Jimmy Savile off the hook or he didn't proceed with the case against Jimmy Savile. I don't know all the details. I don't know if it's that or if it's something else. I don't know what this is, guys. But anyway, we'll see. Right, let's pull a card for Nigel Farage. Back from the dead, I hear. I mean, literally, back from the dead. I'm being shown he did nearly die in a plane crash, didn't he, during the Brexit campaign. Back from the dead, good old Nigel Farage, whatever you think about him, he's a character on the stage. Okay, let's pull a card. Let's do the same decks. Let's pull a card from Wisdom of the Oracle for Nigel Farage. We have the sense of deep knowing and orphaned on the bottom of the deck, with yang upside down, masculine energy upside down. Okay, so he's tapping into a part of the psyche in the country which is feeling orphaned, which is feeling abandoned, which is feeling forgotten. He knows how to tap into that. He's also tapped into the masculine energy within the country, which is feeling disempowered, disenfranchised, powerless, basically, not sovereign. It's more about what he's tapped into. I'm not actually seeing the man. So let's go to the tarot. Let's put these cards back into the deck. So I'm playing with the full deck, as it were. Let me just give them a shuffle. The card of deep knowing for Nigel as well is, again, it's very destined. It's like he has a deep knowing of what he's here to do. Whether you like him or not, he doesn't really care. He's his own man. He has a deep knowing of what he's up against. I can't see him and Starmer being bosom buddies, basically, but, you know, let's hope that they can work together. Nigel will be part of the opposition. I'm hearing will be a constant pain in the backside. Now, to Starmer. That's really funny. You know, yeah, that's what I'm hearing. Will be a constant pain in the backside to Starmer. But, you know, that's what an opposition's supposed to do. An opposition is supposed to challenge. Right, Nigel Farage, let's have 3 cards. How is Nigel Farage feeling post the election, the day after the election? Show me Nigel Farage's energy. We've got the 3 of Wands and the 4 of Pentacles and the Ace of Cups. So he finds out that he's loved. I mean, I think he knows that anyway, as a lot of people do love him. There's also a lot of people who hate him and can't stand him. But, you know, he's a pretty polarising character. But, yeah, there's love for Nigel. The 4 of Pentacles with the 3 of Wands, to me, is about he can just see how much further there is still to go, okay? So 3 of Wands and 4 of Pentacles, there's a lot of work to be done to get us to the point we need to be at in 4 years' time to really take this government on, is how he is feeling. But he's feeling quite secure in that there's a job to be done. He wants to see it through. He's happy. He's definitely happy. Ace of Cups. Sun is shining on him. Yeah, I mean, they're very positive cards. Again, that's not a surprise at all to see that. He's projected to do well in this election. Okay, shall we pull some cards for the Conservatives? I mean, let's do that. It seems a bit... not a waste of time, but it's just that we know that Rishi's not going to be the Prime Minister, so I'm not going to spend too much time on that. We could pull some cards on Boris, who I've always said will boomerang back at some point. And last night, the Conservatives, or Rishi Sunak, actually bought Boris out to be a cheerleader at the 11th hour. Really quite an extraordinary sight because, of course, Sunak was the one who stabbed Boris in the back and got him out of office, even though Boris was the elected leader who won quite a big majority in the last election. So to see Sunak having to grovel, basically, and ask Boris to help rally the troops must have hurt. But this is the circus where we're at. Right, let's see. Let's pull a couple of cards for Rishi. Well, is that Rishi or is that Boris? I think this is Boris, because we've got Unfinished Symphony and Poised. Unfinished Symphony and Poised. I'm hearing with... and go the distance. I'm hearing with Boris Johnson, I'm hearing battering ram. He's like a battering ram who will just keep coming back and coming back and coming back, whether you want him to or not. He does have support. There were pictures of cheering crowds last night, cheering him on, you know, wanting him back. Of course, lots of other people want to see the back of him. Well, I'm sorry, it's unfinished. It's an unfinished symphony. He's poised. He is he's like look at that card. It's like the cheetah who is absolutely poised to jump right back in, and he knew exactly what he was doing yesterday by being on that stage, getting all the adulation again. You know, that I'm the one to save the Conservative Party. He's not even an MP at the moment. So again, this is all. The unfinished symphony is all up in the air, okay? It's not grounded in reality yet. But in terms of how Boris is feeling, that is how Boris is feeling. Let's pull a card for Rishi Sunak. I mean, there's part of me feels sorry for the guy, really, I have to be honest. Because he has taken a pummeling, and just at a human level, taking any politics out of it, I don't like seeing people being pummeled. I mean, I could never be a politician, though. It's a horrible, rough game. I'm far too sensitive, but I guess pull a card for Rishi Sunak. I'm picking up this real tiredness with Rishi Sunak. I mean, he doesn't look tired, but I'm feeling, time to go. Yeah, bye-bye, Rishi. Happy. And I tell you what, Rishi Sunak is very happy to go. I said that before, very happy to go. He doesn't want to be here either. So he's being told by the public, we don't want you. Well, he doesn't want the job either. He's tired, but no, he's happy to go. Very happy to go. So Sunak is on the way out. Let's pull 3 cards for the Conservative Party, how the Conservative Party themselves are feeling the day after the election. Wounded, I'm hearing, which is a pretty obvious thing to say. Wounded. Pride, yeah, so it's like ego pride has taken a battering. Conservative Party, how are they feeling after the day after the election? I'm hearing the word aghast. Aghast. Got the Ace of Pentacles and the Hanged Man. This is saying that they're realising, or will realise, that they have to come up with a new offer. They have to, the Hanged Man is about being in limbo. Yes, they're out of power, but also it's to do with realising that they have to fundamentally change the mechanics of who they are, what they stand for, so that they can come up with an offer next time that is pleasing to people. We've got the 5 of Wands, which is a lot of fighting between each other, and we've got the Moon, total uncertainty, don't know which way to go, just lost, basically, lost in limbo land. And but there is this Ace of Pentacles is the best card, because it's basically saying at some point there will be a new resurgent energy within the party, but certainly not the day after the defeat. So okay, right, let's move on. I did say I was going to also look at France and USA just briefly. So what I wanted to bring to your attention in France was the fact that, there was this rather extraordinary thing that's happened in a place called Rocamadour, which is beautiful, actually. I've been there. And there is let me just read the article. So there is a sword, which is called the French Excalibur, which has vanished from a rock that it had been wedged in for the past 1,300 years. I think the sword was probably a replica, to be honest, but, it's very symbolic. It's called the Durandal sword, and it's presumed to have been stolen from the southern village of Rocamadour, despite it being wedged and chained to the stone 32 feet off the ground. Police are baffled as to how the mystical sword was able to be taken due to its lofty and awkward position embedded in the cliff wall next to the sanctuary. According to legend, the sword could not be broken and was able to slice through boulders with one swoop due to it being the sharpest blade in existence. A myth says it was first given to Emperor Charlemagne by an angel before it was wielded by his nephew Roland, a legendary knight. Durandal, the sword, is mentioned in the 11th century poem, The Song of Roland, and in the epic it tells of the sword's magical powers and said it contained one tooth of St. Peter, the blood of St. Basil, and the hair of St. Denis. Well, the St. Peter thing interests me. That's what the sword looks like in the wall when it was there. So this is very, as I say, it's called the French Excalibur, the Rise of Camelot. If you don't know what's happening in France, as I say, I have read on this before. Macron called this unexpected election. There's 2 rounds of it, and Marie Le Pen did extremely well in the first round. Macron looking very dejected. It's not looking good for him at all. And that's where we're at. There were some protests in Paris over the weekend. People very divided with regards to what some feel is the far right, led by Marie Le Pen. Other people feeling that's unfair to call them that. Whatever you feel about her, them, it's causing division in the country. So let's have a look at it. Let's pull a card from the Wisdom of Avalon deck to get going and see what's going on with this missing sword. Okay. Sorry, I just need to put that on. Okay. So the French, let's have a look. Hi to all of my French followers. I love France, I have to say. Love France. It's a great country. Okay, wishing the best for France. So let's see, let's pull a card for where France is right now. Somebody said, would I channel Joan of Arc? That would be a very good idea. I'm not going to do it in this video because it will take a lot of energy, but I will see whether I can do that. We've got the butterfly, the card of beauty has come out for France. And we've got the Grail Knight, romance, illusion, and seeking the sacred. Yeah, it's like this, what am I picking up with France? This love affair with France, this French dream, this, I mean, the Eiffel Tower, Paris, the city of love. There's something about the energy of love and France and amore, and I don't know, I'm just picking up this beautiful, loving energy. France needing to still stand for that, to stand for elegance and beauty and love and romance. And let's take the music and dance, take the music and dance. Can't remember what that song is. Let's face the music and dance. Who did that? Let's see what that song is. I'm just being given. Let's face the music and dance. Was it Fred Astaire? Let's face the music and dance is a song published in 1936 by Irving Berlin for the film Follow the Fleet. It was Fred Astaire, yes, thought it was. See what the lyrics are. There may be a I wish I could sing this to you. You've got to imagine it in a French accent now. I love the French accent. It's so damn sexy. Okay, here we go. Unfortunately, you've got my English accent. There may be trouble ahead, but while there's moonlight and music and love and romance, let's face the music and dance. Before the fiddlers have fled, before they ask us to pay the bill, and while we still have the chance, let's face the music and dance. Soon we'll be without the moon, humming a different tune, and then there may be teardrops to shed. So while there's moonlight and music and love and romance, let's face the music and dance. It feels as though France just wants to go down in a hail of passionate lovemaking. And I don't know, wine, women and song. I don't know, I'm just picking up this very nice energy, really. I don't know what it is. It's sort of, I feel it's an energy which is just like France will survive. France will always survive. France will always have this je ne sais quoi, this, I don't know, just this beauty to it. That can never be relinquished. And if there are forces at play that are threatening the French way of life, those forces will be defeated. I mean, France, one of the things I really respect about the French, well, the Spanish are the same, but, you know, being an English person, you know, we can be complacent and arrogant because so many places around the world speak English. So the state of education in terms of learning foreign languages in this country is appalling. I'm ashamed of it. But, you know, the French always protect their language, don't they? They protect their wines. They protect their culture. This is about protecting their culture. And this is what I'm picking up today for them, protecting their culture, protecting what it is to be French and celebrating that. And that will win, is what I'm hearing. That will win. However, having said that, and this isn't necessarily about Le Pen or Macron, if you think about it, that France stands for all of this beautiful lusciousness and ripeness and fertility and beauty and gorgeousness, but it's the energy of love. It has to be built on love. It can't be built on horror, basically. So let's read about this Grail Knight, number 6. Is it he that has taken the sword from Rocamadour? You know, symbolically. So it says, romance and the seeking of that which is sacred, such are the missions of the Grail Knight. He represents the coming together of all elements to form perfect life through a union of heaven and earth. Or he signifies a romantic union of lover with lover. In the beginning of all relationships, there's a time when everything is perfect. One seeks out the discovery of love in the treasures of the other, all the while holding up a mirror in which beauty and perfection are reflected. When the Grail Knight appears, he lets you know that your own beauty, perfection, and innermost desires may be reflected in the mirror that is held up by the love of one another. Love is in the air. There's something here about France needing to learn to love each other. It says a gentle warning, light cannot exist without shadow, so don't be fooled by the illusion of perfection. France, 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 France. Oh my gosh, so much potential for your beautiful country. So much that is there that is... I love France. That's what I'm tuning into, just this love of France. The holy wells, the sacred land, the French language, which is beautiful, the French culture. It is to be cherished, it is to be protected, it is to be looked after. And if you have somebody in power that is not doing that, then you need to get somebody in power that will do that. Am I saying that either of those candidates are the best option? No, I'm just bringing forward the energy that I'm feeling here right now. Just such elegance in France. I remember when I was there last year. I mean, I like to think I make an effort every day. I always put my makeup on. I put my jewellery on. I've got God knows how many outfits. This is me. Even if no one sees me through the day or I'm not doing a video, I still dress up. I always have. I got it from my mum. So I like to think I'm fairly elegant as a lady. But, you know, you go to France and it's like, oh my God, it's next level. You know, walking around the markets, buying your vegetables, all the women are there. And they're, you know, just, I've said this last year, beautiful flowing gowns. I know I'm slightly exaggerating, but not really. I noticed it. My daughter noticed it. It was like, Mum, we need to level up. I said, I know, we do, don't we? Let's go and get some frocks. It's that type of thing. I don't know. Just beauty. Right, let's go back then to politics, unfortunately, which is not beautiful at the moment, but politics is as much a part of life, national life, as anything else. So when it gets ugly, it's reflecting an ugliness in a nation that's forgotten its beauty, that's forgotten its heart. Right, okay, let's pull a card for Marie Le Pen. Okay, let's pull a card for Marie Le Pen from the Avalon deck. We've got the eagle, spirit, integrity, connection to the angelic realm. She's like a hawk. Yeah, we've got the card of focus. She knows exactly where she's going, what she wants to be doing, where she wants to take France. Whether you think she's the answer or not is a completely different matter. But we have the eagle for her. Let's pull a couple of tarot cards. Let's go to the Japanese tarot for France. Marie Le Pen. We've got the moon. Which can be the feminine. It can also be what is veiled. It's a bit like Keir Starmer. What are you actually getting? Who is Marie Le Pen, really? Anyway, let's focus on her. Marie Le Pen. What else is there to say, please, Spirit, today? Stranger of Gardens. Three of Gardens. That was the same. These are the same cards that came up last time I read on her. Do you remember I talked about her being a muse and who was she the muse for? It's her father. I thought her father was dead, but her father's still alive. She's her father's daughter, carrying out her father's work, seeing that through to completion. Stranger of Gardens. The stranger is the knight, so it's the Knight of Pentacles. Knight of Pentacles. It's not a king, it's not a queen, it's a knight. She's still learning the ropes. She's still very much under instruction from her father, still very much guided by him. Who is she when she's not under her father's influence? I have no idea, and I don't think she knows either. Ten of Tides and the Empress. She's going to come in on a great big tidal wave of support for her. No stopping it. I said that before. It's the same cards I got, or pretty much the same message that came up last time, that she was going to be swept into power. And Macron, well, let's have a look at where he is. Queen of Swords as well. There she is. She is the Queen. So Queen and the Empress together. Queen of Swords and the Empress and the Ten of Tides. There's a lot of emotion in France. But I go back to what I said at the beginning of this video for all countries. Is it a grand awakening, or is it just a repeat of past cycles of this is the latest great hope? But who are these people really? Who are they really? Let's have a look at Macron. I feel like he's gone into quite a strop. Not getting his own way. It's quite childlike. It's like a childlike strop. Nine of Swords. Yeah, he's worried about the Queen of Pentacles, which is her. He could do something rash. You see, this has been my fear with regards to these big elections that are coming up this year, especially USA as well. Put it this way, when emperors are found to have no clothes, they can lash out and do something spiteful at the last minute. When the Conservatives came into power 14 years ago, whoever the previous Chancellor of the Exchequer had been, who is the money man, he left a note on the desk for the new Chancellor of the Exchequer, who was a Conservative, and the note said, "Sorry, there's no money left," in a really flippant way, and it's that type of thing. It's almost as though if we're going to lose power, we're going to do something spiteful and rash. And what we don't want is escalation of war, for example. So as light workers, we have to really be aware of that and try to keep the boat calm, basically. So he's got the Nine of Swords, Macron. Let's see what goes with that. Oops. The Lovers. They haven't chosen me. Why haven't they chosen me? Why don't they like me? Why have they turned on me? Poor me. Real victim energy. It's like a child. It's like a spoilt child energy is what I'm picking up with him. Six of Cups. Can't we go back to the way we were when everybody loved me and I was the King of Cups and I had the world in front of me and I was defending you and everything was bright and sunny in the world, in my world. It's very melodramatic energy. Very melodramatic. I watch him, basically. He needs to be watched to not do something stupid, basically. Because of wounded pride. Where's that card we started with? The one with the goblin, the wounded human ego. Doing something to spite as power gets removed from him. Okay. Right. Video's getting quite long, so let's just do a couple of cards for USA because I did say I was going to. Let's put all the cards back into the deck And I think we will go with the after tarot, actually, for this one. Let me just clear my desk a little bit for USA. So we've got a bit more time to play with USA. Your election is not until November. Spray some white light. Clear the energy. Right, what do we want to ask? Okay, what I really want to ask with regards to USA is Biden. Okay, I'm just going to be perfectly blunt. I feel that he needs to step down. I feel that he will be forced to step down. I feel that he is unwell. I feel he has dementia. I think it's been apparent for a long time. People who were burying their heads in the sand and didn't want to see it are now seeing it. I think his wife is complicit in keeping the facade going. I said months ago, I think on Instagram, that actually this was horrific. Just whatever he's done or whatever you think of him, just him now as an old man with dementia, it's horrific that he's being wheeled out. It is elder abuse, basically. It is. I think it's absolutely appalling. Absolutely appalling. Those people that say that he's a clone, I would say to you, do you really think they'd be rolling out a clone who was that dysfunctional? Okay, so that is not a political statement. It's just literally somebody who finds it hard to even walk onto the stage, who can't get his words out. Yes, I know he has a stutter. It's not about the stutter. It's the vacant expression. You know, the lights are just not on anymore, and he needs to retire and enjoy the rest of his life with his family, and open the door to somebody, you know, more capable, mentally capable, cognitively more there, basically. That is what I truly feel. So I think more and more people are waking up to that now, and I think that I'd be surprised if he's the one standing in November for the Democrats, but I know it's not as easy as just replacing him. So let's have a look. Let's just pull a couple of cards for Joe now and see what wants to come through from Spirit. Wishing the best for USA. We've got the card of love for him. So that's a good card. Ooh. With the Magician. Joe Biden. What weird cards. I mean, I was thinking slightly weird cards based on what I've just said, because I'm not just saying these things off the top of my head, it's what I truly feel, intuitively feel. We've got the card of love, we've got the card of the Magician, but then we've got the card of death. Love, the Magician, and death. Okay, I understand the message. Thank you, Spirit. Right, I understand what I'm hearing now. No amount of love and applause and adulation, no amount of working magic or trying to get him on better medication or better therapies or only doing a certain amount of work, not overtaxing him, is going to work. There is a death. This doesn't have to be a physical death, but we have the 8 of Tides and we've got the 4 of Tides and we've got the Drowned. This is definitely a movement away from him as the leader. And the Drowned is, and look at that card, the Drowned, it's blue, it's democratic blue. It's like, what the hell do we do now? What do we do now? Who do we turn to now? We have to walk away from what we've known, which if you're a Democrat, you might have loved him. You might have loved him and you might have thought he has all the answers. He's the magician, he knows what to do, but not with that death card and the Drowned, which is the Hanged Man, and the 4 of Tides and the 8 of Tides. It's very, very clear. Power is moving away from him as his power moves away from him. And I'm talking about his physical power, his physical energy, his physical power, his physical prowess, mental prowess is leaving him, is leaving him. He doesn't know. He doesn't know where he is, bless him. You know, I honestly, just from a perfectly human perspective, take the politics out of it, I see an 82-year-old man, or whoever he is, standing on a stage, and if that was my father, I would be dragging him off that stage and looking after him and tending to him. He needs whatever he needs now at this point in his life. What he doesn't need is another 4 years. Okay. Okay, so I'm correct in that there's a death process here with Biden. Well, what do they do then? So let's take this as our start card, the drowned, which is, okay, this is the Democratic Party, that we have to find something new. Well, what do we do? Is it Michelle? Is it Gavin? Is it Kamala? Is it Hillary? Is it... Those are the main ones, I think. Let me just write them down. I'm not going to read cards on all of these people today, but I'm going to take a couple of the top ones. I'm going to look at Gavin Hewson briefly. Kamala, I'm not really feeling that. Not really feeling that, just because I don't think she's the answer. What was the other one? Oh, Michelle Obama. Interestingly for you, if you're not in USA, I'm just going to report something that was in the UK papers today, which was some sort of poll of polls. Who can beat Trump? Put it this way, Trump would probably wish for Biden to still stay in the race, because I feel as though if Biden stays in the race, there's more chance Trump will win. The person that this poll was saying can defeat Trump, there's only one, and it was Michelle Obama. Whether you like her, whether you don't, I don't care. I'm just talking about what the poll had said, all right? And it's not even my personal opinions either. So the two that I feel as though Trump would fear the most are Gavin and Michelle. I think he would make mincemeat of Kamala Harris. Hillary, we don't want a rerun of that. That would just be so stale. I don't think they'll wheel Hillary out. I think it would be Gavin or Michelle Obama. So let's just pull a couple of cards for them, and then I'll come back and do a much longer read if and when Biden has been deposed and we are into the timeline where this has actually landed, because at the moment I'm just feeling into what's in astral and what is likely. I might be wrong, might be completely wrong, but I'm just reporting what I'm feeling in the astral as a timeline that is about to land. Doesn't mean it will land, but it's feeling quite likely. I would put it at 80% that it's going to land, that Biden will be replaced. And as I say, if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But, you know, my job is just to come on and tell you what I'm intuitively feeling. Take it or leave it. It's not a big deal. Right, so let's have a look at Gavin Newsom first. I have read on Gavin a few months ago. I'm not even going to say whatever I said a couple of months ago. Let's just see what the cards want to say today. Gavin Newsom. I'm hearing champing at the bit. He is champing at the bit. He can't wait to get his teeth into it. Yes. I mean, I shouldn't laugh because I know it's really quite, it's a very difficult situation for your country. But look at the cards. Champing at the bit. We have the 8 of fire. He is a volcano that is about to go off. He's literally like, let me at it. The next card is the Tower. He is waiting for the Tower to fall, the volcano to erupt, and he thinks he's the answer. The Star card. I am the answer that can heal this. The Star card is a card of healing. Talking about the Democratic Party, I'm the one that can heal. I'm literally coming in on this cloud, vision on a cloud. Here I am to save the day. This is what's in his mind. Slippery as an eel, very opportunistic, but a fierce contender for Trump, absolutely. Is Gavin likely to win the nomination should Biden step down? Is Gavin likely to win the nomination should Biden step down? We've got the 4 of fire, which is a card of sort of celebration and partying. It doesn't show him as the king, though. I don't know whether I'll be able to tell you, but let me just see. Let's try 2 more cards. 2 more cards. Is Gavin the next leader of the Democratic Party in USA? I've got 4 cards falling out. King of Gardens, Queen of Tides, 6 of Gardens, 6 of Winds. Double 6. 6-6 energy. Let's start with that and then we'll get to the King and the Queen. 6 of Gardens and 6 of Winds. I mean, I know Winds, it's linked into literally wind. In this deck, the Winds is the Swords suit. So 6 of Swords. Yeah, okay. Right. As somebody leaves, 6 of Winds is 6 of Swords. Yeah. As somebody leaves, somebody is offered this beautiful bouquet of flowers. Now, it shows a woman, but we've also got the King of Gardens, which would be him, but we've also got the Queen of Tides. Feels like it's a man and a woman that takes the Democratic Party through the remainder of the election period. I don't think the man is Biden, so it could be Gavin. There's still a woman. Maybe they feel as though it would be too much to get rid of Kamala. If Biden goes, it would be too much to get rid of Kamala. So they keep her. I mean, he doesn't want her. He doesn't want to work with her, but he would do it to win. He's being offered something, and it's an opportunity that comes in quite fast as somebody else leaves. So it could be him. Let's have a look at Michelle Obama. The question with Michelle Obama is, does she actually want to even do it? Okay, so she might be the one that people are saying would be the most likely to beat Trump, but does she want to go back into battle? She's always said historically she wouldn't want to, but let's see what I can pick up from Michelle Obama. Politically, Michelle Obama. I feel as though Barack is definitely pushing her. Barack would like her to, but I feel as though she's pretty much her own woman. Doesn't answer to, 5 of Winds, 5 of Swords. They're fighting between themselves, him and Michelle. Barack Obama and Michelle Obama, there's some fighting going on between them. And I'm not sure who will win, because I feel like Barack would like her absolutely to do so, whatever he's saying in public. But there's a battle of wills going on there between the two of them. Don't know whether she wants it. Let's see. Doesn't mean she won't do it, but Michelle Obama, what can I pick up? Will Michelle Obama step in? Stranger of Gardens again. That's the Knight of Pentacles. Will Michelle Obama stand in if Biden steps down? I'm picking up the energy of stage fright. So it's as though there are powers that be behind the scenes that are trying to push her onto the stage. And she's at the side of the stage with stage fright, not wanting to go back on. Yeah, not wanting to go back into this. 9 of Fire. It's a gladiatorial ring. Why the hell would you want to go back into that? She's seen it up close and personal, what it does, what it entails. She doesn't want to go back into the ring. Which is a problem, because the leaders of the ring would like her to be there because she's the draw. She's the prize draw. What do you mean you don't want to go back into the ring? You're the prize draw. You're the one that can win it. Get back out there. No, last time I did that, I was put through the ringer. Look at that. Persecution energy. Why would I put myself back into that fiery place? I always see this as my Batman card. Batman. Batman. She could just appear, though. She could decide to. It's all a bit of a cliffhanger. The moon. Don't know. Cards aren't saying. I'm picking up her fear. I'm picking up that as a child, you know, there was an energy of wanting to be the leader. Wanting to be the leader, absolutely. The Hierophant and the Nine of Tides. Looking up to the night sky. I want that power. I want that glory. But we've also got the energy of war here and death. Don't think she wants to govern over war. I mean, she's a mother. And mothers don't tend to want to do that. Whatever you think about her, politics, she's a mum. And mums don't tend to want to take their countries into war. She may very well know that behind the scenes the war drums are banging and the war needs to continue for the money that it brings into the country. And I don't know if she feels like she doesn't want any part in it. Gavin. Gavin would do their bidding, is what I'm hearing. So of the two here today, what I'm basically saying is I'm feeling Michelle is on the wings with stage fright, not wanting to go on. Now, she might be pushed on. She might be pushed into it. But as of today, 3rd of July, a day before American Independence Day, it's feeling more like Gavin. There's part of me doesn't even want to pull a card for Hillary, but let's just do it. Can they really resurrect her again? Let's see. Hillary Clinton. The fight's gone out of her, actually. I'm just seeing like a paper bag, which is just like, all the air's gone out of it. She hasn't got the fight that Gavin's got in him. She hasn't even got the fear that Michelle's got in her. And don't forget, fear, when it's turned on its axis, can turn into excitement. It's a double. Yeah, I've got the Tower with Hillary on the bottom of the deck. So the Tower falls. Could be Biden leaving. What happens to you then, Hillary? Sorry, let me just concentrate. I'm getting a bit tired, guys. Hillary Clinton. She's not the easiest energy to read either. Seven of Gardens, 3 of... I don't know. I'm not feeling the energy with her. I'm not feeling the energy. It just feels as though the time's gone for that. I just can't pick. I'm not picking her up. I'm not picking the energy up. There's nothing really coming through. So I'm not going to force it. Who was the other one? Kamala Harris. Well, I remember before the last election, and I did do a reading, and I remember saying Kamala because I talked about her name, which means lotus, doesn't it? And there was because I always look at the highest perspective of people. There was a hope there. I think that the thing about lotus flowers is you have to remember that lotuses grow out of mud, and some don't make it out of the mud. And I don't feel she's ever risen through the mud. She's not shown who she is. That's my stomach agreeing. Okay, let's just pull a couple of cards for Kamala. What is there to say, Spirit? I'm not sure this is the right deck, actually. I've got the Queen of Gardens, so she does see herself as the Queen, but it's very much a Queen that doesn't want to work. As I pull out the Eight of Gardens, it's a Queen that doesn't actually want to do the work. She wants the king to do it. She's happy to be the supporting role, is what I feel. I don't think she wants the top job, personally. But I want to just pull from another deck for her, because I wasn't really feeling that deck for her. Kamala Harris, anything else to say before I close this video down? All that glitters is not gold, and the same card, all at sea. She's not in her flow. She doesn't know what her beliefs are. It's what we had for Keir Starmer. If she could find out what she believed in, who is she? What does she stand for? What is she passionate about? What is she going to put up with? What's she going to do? It's like there's no mission statement. There's no... It's all Neptune-y. It's all flippy-floppy. And it's all that glitters is not gold. No. She's not the answer either. So, okay, if I was going to put a bet, I was going to put a bet on it. Not that I agree with betting, just because I'm not trying to encourage you to do that, but I'd be putting my money on Gavin right now, definitely. Okay, so let's go full circle with this video. Let's remember Metatron's message to brace position. Try to keep it light. I actually feel a lot better having done this video. I hope you've enjoyed it. If I've turned the comments off, apologies for that, but I just don't want all the heaviness that comes with, flack. And, this is for the silent majority who hopefully understand my heart and what I'm actually saying, okay? Let the best man or woman win for all countries. But yeah, let's sink into that lusciousness of France as well. I just really like that. If I had a glass of French wine now, I would take a little sip. There's something there that's just very beautiful. I'm going to have to weave the French energy, aren't I, into my Camelot work. So maybe another trip up to Rocamadour as well would be good. Lots of love, everybody. Take care. Look after each other. Remember, you are more than your politics, okay? That the person next to you who's voting differently can still be your friend. I don't judge whatever it is you vote. I just want the best for us as a species, and to remind all of us to stay in our heart, whatever you vote, okay, whatever you vote. Let us not be led by that goblin energy that we had earlier. I've put the card back in the deck now, but that goblin energy of being led by a wounded ego. We don't want to be led by people with wounded egos. We want to be led by, people that are sovereign. Lots of love. Take care. Bye-bye for now. Bye.